Hello, my pretties. This is Shadow the Line Queen here, and welcome back to another episode of Shadows and Pretties. This is episode 388. So, before I get started with this, I am just going to do this review especially because, my birthday was on Sunday. Well, the day I'm recording this is on the 7th of August, so it'll be out sometime next week. And I'm not going to be reviewing the other two movies of the Maneater series like the last two because I don't really care for those two movies that much. I saw them once and didn't really care for them that much. So, today in episode 388 of Shadows and Pretties, today we are going to review this movie in honor of the fact that my birthday was just passed, called Happy Death Day. This movie came out in 2017. It's a black comedy slasher film. So there is a sequel to this called Happy Death Day to You, which I will review that in the near future. So this movie was actually a pretty good one. I personally really thought it was enjoyable and really well done. So this movie, I definitely do have to say it was pretty big back in 2017, along with Stephen King's It remake that came out, like Chapter 1. So I'm going to go ahead and talk about the plot and stuff about this movie in case you guys have not seen this movie in a while and for those who have not seen it. So the plot about it takes place after a drunken night partying. Tree Gilman wakes up on her birthday in the dorm room of a classmate, Carter Davis. She dismisses him, returning to her own room. Her sorority housemate, Lori Spengler, gives her a cupcake, which she throws away. Tree meets with her when she married Professor Gregory Butler, whom she is having an affair. That night, on her way to a party, Tree is lured into a tunnel and gets murdered by a figure wearing a mask. So she immediately wakes up in the Carter's bed and is unnerved to find the previous day's events repeating themselves. Baffled, she relives the day, and this time avoiding the tunnel and reaching the party. However, the masked killer follows her and murders her again. Tree again wakes up in Carter's bed and realizes she's in a time loop and barricades herself in her room to avoid death. The killer, already hiding inside, murders her for a third time. So waking up, Tree explains the events to Carter, and he suggests taking advantage of the loop to identify her killer. She spends the next several iterations trailing the suspects, but she gets killed, unfortunately, every time. Ever after walking from a loop where she is begone, Tree faints and wakens in a campus hospital. When the killer shows up, she escapes the hospital in Gregory's car, only to be pursued and get killed again. So meanwhile, back in Carter's bed, Tree convinces him of her predicament by demonstrating her knowledge of the day's events. She sees a news report on John Toombs, a serial killer being held at the campus hospital. Concluding that Toombs is their killer, she rushes to the hospital to warn of his escape. So Toombs breaks free and nearly kills Tree, but Carter follows and rescues her. Toombs kills Carter before chasing Tree to a bell tower, where she subdues him with a crowbar. Before delivering a fatal blow, she realizes that if she kills Toombs and ends the loop, Carter will remain dead forever. So she runs to the top of the tower and hangs herself from a bell rope. So when Tree awakens in Carter's room and finds him alive again, now confident in solving her murder, she proceeds happily through the day. She ends her affair with Gregory and meets her father for lunch, where they begin to reconcile. So later on that night, she goes into the hospital and and kills Toombs, relieved to be free. She celebrates her birthday in Carter's room and eats the cupcake Lori had given her. Tree wakes up still in the loop. Horrified, she returns to her room with the intent to run away when Lori offers her the cupcake again. Tree realizes that the previous loop was only the time she ate the cupcake, and then she died in her sleep. Thus, Lori is her true killer. Lori had poisoned the cupcake, but when Tree failed to eat it, Lori uses her job as a nurse to frame Toombs for Tree's murder. So Lori admits having an affair with Gregory, whose preference for Tree drove her mad with jealousy. She attacks Tree, but Tree manages to stuff the poison cupcake in her mouth and then kicks her out on the second floor of the window to her death. So later on at the restaurant, Tree and Carter moose over the day's events, and then he offers her his room for the night. The next day, she wakes up believing that she is still being in the time loop, but Carter quickly reveals that he was just playing a prank on her, and it was really the next day. Tree is also too relieved to be angry with him. So the two pretty much kiss, and that's how the movie ends. So basically, the film was originally entitled Half to Death, which, based on the original story created by Scott LeBeau, it was first announced in June of 2007 to be produced by Michael Bay. But however, after some time later on, it was changed into Happy Death Day. So that's when the film got retitled on Happy Death Day in June of 2017. So the filming actually took place in New Orleans, Louisiana, which I thought that was pretty neat. So it lasted about 5 weeks, the filming, and the scenes where Tree reawakens out in a bed after Carter's death were filmed back in the span of 2 days. So in the film, here's something I did not even know, is that there is an original ending. So basically in the film's original ending, Tree gets taken to the hospital after her encounter with Lori. The doctor instructs Tree to stay away from pain medication for at least a day due to the extent of her injuries. So after he leaves, a nurse comes in and says she's giving Tree something for the pain. Tree informs the nurse of the doctor's orders, and the nurse reveals herself to be Dr. Butler's wife, Stephanie, who says that for her own pain, she murders Tree in revenge for her husband's affair with the girl. So in that version, it was shown the latest test screenings for the film and was received negatively by the audience, which led to the writers create a theatrical ending. Landon also revealed Lori and Butler were the killers through rough drafts, were later inspired by the idea of the poison cupcake. So unfortunately, there were some legal issues that unfortunately happened. And the mask was mainly identical to the King Cake Baby, which is the official mascot of New Orleans Pelicans men's basketball team, which is, yeah. I mean, Universal Pictures and Blumhouse was sued for copyright infringement, demanding half of the film's profits. The settlement was then reached in 2021. So basically, I really do like the soundtrack. It fits perfectly with this movie. It's just a really, really awesome movie. I personally really thought it was enjoyable and really well done. So I'm gonna sit here and say, I will be reviewing Happy Death Day to you in the next video, so be sure you stay tuned for that. So, Happy Death Day. I personally do have to say that it's a pretty good movie. I personally really enjoyed it a whole lot. I thought it was really neat. The fact that this, Tree keeps waking up every time she dies, and it's like they want her to live, but they don't want her to die either. So that's basically the plot of it, which I thought it was pretty neat. So the gore was done very well. I personally really liked that, and I like how we get the killer, to be someone in a mask, and it's obviously like the deaths in this are just flat out amazing. Like, I just love the violence and everything about this movie. Like, it's just a really, really great film. I mean, I did first see this, I believe, back in 2017, or maybe it was 2018. I can't remember, but I did see this movie, and I have to say, it is flat out amazing. I thought this movie was amazing, and it is. It's personally a really good and well done film. I can easily recommend this one movie to anybody who pretty much likes horror movies and stuff like that. Anyways, with that being said, I'm going to sit here and just say right now, this is just simply my own personal opinion, and if you happen to disagree with it, that's perfectly fine too. Anyways, with that being said and that being the case, what did you guys personally think of this movie? Did you enjoy it? Did you not? Also, what we have done personally to help make this movie a lot better. Leave me know what your thoughts are down in the comment section down below. And as always, if you're a horror fan, you definitely would really enjoy this movie, as I highly recommend it. Now, as always, I'm going to sit here and just say, I'm Shadow the Lion Queen. Thank you so much for watching today's video. And if you enjoyed this channel, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you're new. Ring the bell for notifications, 20 uploads. That way you guys will not miss an upload. As always, if you guys want to go follow me on Blue Sky, follow me on Twitter, follow me on DeviantArt, and follow me on my backup channel known as Mr. Shigo, as links to all those will be in the About page section, so you guys can go follow me on there. And that's pretty much all I have to really say, but if I'm missing something, please let me know. And as always, I will be seeing you guys all in the next video. Peace out, and like always, I will see you all next time.